Blind Man and the Hunter Part 2. So the next morning, the blind man and the hunter set off into the forest together. The hunter carried his traps, spears, and arrows. He led the blind man by the hand along the track between the trees. For hours and hours they walked. Suddenly, the blind man stopped. He took the hunter's hand. "Shh, there is a lion." The hunter looked about. He could see nothing at all. "There is a lion," said the blind man. "But it's all right. He won't hurt us. He's eaten and he's fast asleep." They carried on along the track, and there, sure enough, was a great lion stretched out, fast asleep under a tree. As soon as they had passed it, the hunter asked, "How did you know about the lion?" "Because I see with my ears," replied the blind man. For hours they continued, and then the blind man pulled hard the hunter's hand again. "Sss, there is an elephant." The hunter looked about. He could see nothing at all. "There is an elephant, but it's all right. He's in a waterhole. He won't hurt us." They carried on along the track, and there sure enough was a great bull elephant wallowing in a waterhole. As soon as they had passed it, the hunter asked, "How did you know about the elephant?" The hunter smiled and said, "Because I see with my ears." And they continued deep into the forest until they came to a clearing. The hunter said, "We'll leave our trap here." The hunter set one of his trap, and he showed the blind man how to set another one. When both traps were ready, the hunter said, "We'll come back tomorrow and see what we have caught." And together they made their way home to the village. The next morning, they were up early. Once again, they set off along the track into the forest. The hunter offered to hold the blind man's hand, but the blind man said, "No, I know the way now." The blind man walked ahead this time, and he didn't catch his foot on a root or a tree stump. He didn't miss a single turning. They walked and they walked until they came to the open area deep in the forest where they had set the trap. The hunter saw that there was a bird caught in his trap, and he saw straight away that the bird caught in his trap was a grey one, and the bird caught in the blind man's trap was a beauty with the feathers of green, crimson, and gold. Sit down there, he said. We have each caught a bird. I will fetch them out of the trap. So the blind man sat down, and the hunter went across the trap. And as he went across the trap, he was thinking to himself, a man with no eyes will never know the difference. What did he do? He gave the blind man the little grey bird, and he kept the beautiful bird with green, crimson, and gold feathers for himself. And the blind man took the grey bird in his hand, and he got to his feet, and they set off for home. They walked and walked, and as they were walking, the hunter said, "If you are so clever and you see with your ears, then answer me this. Why is there so much anger and hatred and warfare in this world?" And the blind man answered, "Because the world is full of so many people like you, who take what is not theirs." And suddenly the hunter was filled with bitter shame. He took the little grey bird out of his hands and gave him the beautiful green, crimson, and gold instead. "I'm sorry," he said. And they walked and walked and walked along the track between the trees. And again the hunter said, "If you are so clever and you see with your ears, then answer me this. Why is there so much love and kindness and gentleness in this world?" And the blind man answered, "Because the world is full of so many people like you, who learn by their mistakes." And they walked until they came to their home, to the village. And from that day onwards, if the hunter heard anyone ask, "Blind man, how is it that you are so wise?" he would put his arm around the blind man's shoulder and say, "Because he sees with his ears and hears with his heart."